We are going to be joined by these two trailblazers who will be speaking to us, and their voice has been heard in terms of reshaping the narratives. So, our first speaker will be Mr. Yakubu Joe Jonathan, an innovation strategist and youth development champion. And our second speaker will be Mr. Abubakar Ashim Mohammed, is also a youth governance reform advocate. So they are all going to be speaking to us tonight. So this is not just a title that I'm giving them. They represent our movement. They are part of our team, a vision and commitment. So you will hear strategic experiences which they already know already then, and tools that we can apply in our environment, in our communities, in our schools, and even our national platforms. So this is not just a discussion, it's something that we are going to be interacting together. So I want to encourage you to participate, ask questions, take down notes, share your thoughts. So this space is as much as yours too. That is why we are creating this interactive forum every month. So together we'll be raising generations that doesn't just speak for themselves, but they are accountable. So let's make this evening conversation count. Let's build Nigeria together. We all deserve to be in a good environment. We all deserve to live in a peaceful and a progressive nation. So thank you so much for being here. I know you have taken your time to join us. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining this DGIF Forum Volume 3. So, Mr. Jonathan, if you're ready for us, yes, you have the floor now. Thank you so much.
Corruption is the main cause of nuisance around the world. Corruption is one of the main of nuisance around the world. By definition, according to Coban, is corruption is misusing of the power for personal or private gain. Corruption is misusing of power for personal or private gain. Corruption means the violation of country laws, social and ethical norms. Corruption means the violation of country laws, social and ethical norms. It is also the cause of the root, it's also the cause of the weakness of every nation of the world. Through corruption or with corruption, many nations tend not to grow. I'm going to cite some example, like Nigeria. Nigeria ought not to be where it is today. But because of the mismanagement and the lack of focus of the leaders we have in this country is the reason why Nigeria is where it is today. A lot of people comes into power, all they think about is just about themselves, abusing the position in which the people elect them to. Nigeria is meant to be competing with the likes of other nation of the world. But I'm so surprised that we are still tagged as a third world country. Now, the future of every nation lies in the hands of the youth. This is where the youth comes in. The future of every nation lies in the hands of the youth. Now, combating corruption through youth led accountability. How can we do that as the youth? Number one, involve empowering young people with the knowledge, skills, and platform to demand transparency and integrity in governance. The young men, the young women in society must be empowered, not with weapons, not with bow and arrow. The young men in the society need to know what is happening in the society. They need to be empowered by attending different youth platform that will be a benefactor or a beneficiary to them. But I itemize some point in which this can be done. And here are some of the strategies or strategic points on how to empower the youth in the society. Corruption and its effect and the importance of accountability. Through civic education, the youth can be empowered or educated, and they need to know the effect that the corruption has on the society. Something happened some time ago during the last election. I was on the queue waiting turn. I heard some people, some young men, who, people can say, or we say, are the leaders of tomorrow. They were like, if they see anybody that will just give them, even though it's just 4K, 5K, they are willing to sell their vote. Now, corruption cut across, you know, uh, many forms. It's not just only when you abuse the office you occupy. It's not only when you embezzle government property or embezzle the money that the public funds that is kept, in your care. Selling your vote is part of corruption. Disobeying the laws of the society or of the country is part of corruption. Not doing the right thing is part of corruption. Beating traffic is part of corruption. Disobeying, those in authority is part of corruption. So if you check it, some people tend to like, okay, corruption is just only when the government embezzle the money that are meant for the public. No, you in your own little way, how have you been behaving, or how are you been carrying out, some of the little activity that have been kept under you. Many of us, occupy various positions. What have you been doing to the junior staff that are under you? There's something that I jotted down. I say your character live with you and after you. Your character, it lives with you and after you. When you are in the office and after you left office, something happened some time ago. Uh, One of our past leader son got wedded, and I saw some of the accolade praising him, praying for him. Why? Because of the achievement of his father. That was late President Yaradua. When the man was in office, we know what he did. When he was the governor, we know what he did. Now, his character, what he did, and after when he was in office and after he left office, he's still speaking for him. One of the holy books talk about a good name is better than riches. So the youth must be educated, and this can be achieved through workshop, workshop, forum, and advocacy campaign, through capacity building, just like what we are doing. Now, by providing training and mentorship program to equip the youth with leadership skills, knowledge of governance, and anti-corruption measures. If you ask some youth to, some of the people that are in power right now, some of them they will tell you that it doesn't concern them. Some of them don't even have knowledge of what is going on in the country. And as a youth, is very, very young, very young. Like me, I could remember during the last election, I went, I went to join myself with a political party. I'm not going to mention that political party. As it stands, I have the right to vow for some certain position, some certain governmental position, elective position in Nigeria. So as a youth, you must know your right. You must know what it takes to lead. We can't continue to leave these old men. Continue to leave these old men and to continue to lead us. Check from the presidency down to the Senate. Look at the age of those leading us. But what do you think is happening? The youth don't even know their left from some you don't even know their left from right. By through initiative that promote transparency, integrity, and accountability. Now there's a group called the Arewa Youth. This set of people are like a social youth, social group. By the time the government is not doing what what is in line with the constitution, they organize a meeting. They begin to call for government attention. This is what the youth of Nigeria are meant to do. Go on a peaceful protest. I could remember what happened during NSAS. Along the line, it was this same youth that was used to disrupt the peaceful protest. When are we going to grow up in this country? Now, I want to let you know that those in power, they understand the strength of the youth. They are scared of the strength that the youth have. By the time we wake up, by the time we realize the strength and the power in our voice, in our unity, dogs, these people use their platform to promote the strength of the youth. They also use their platform to expose corrupt leaders in the society. That is X, Facebook, Instagram. You can expose the wrongdoing of those in power. Now, there was a bill that was passed, I think that was in 2011, the Freedom of Information Act. Now, what is the useful or what is the use of this act? Or what is the essence of that act? The Freedom of Information Act is a law that allows citizens to access information from government agency, parastatal, and private organization providing public services. It was passed in 2011. The act promotes transparency and accountability in governance by giving Nigeria the right to request and receive information from public offices or institutions. So as it is, I'm very sure some of you don't even know that they have the right to walk into any government offices and ask them to, to give them details of how they spent the budget that was allocated to that agency. You have that right. Why? Because it is being backed up by the constitution. They use their platform to expose corrupt leader in the society. Now, another point is through social media campaign, online movement that raises awareness and mobilize support against corruption. The world now is in our palms. You don't need to go to television station or radio station. Through your TikTok, through your Twitter, that is X, Facebook, Instagram, you can expose the wrongdoing of those in power. Now, there was a bill that was passed, I think that was in 2011, the Freedom of Information Act. Now, what is the useful or what is the use of this act? Or what is the essence of that act? The Freedom of Information Act is a law that allows citizens to access information from government agency, parastatal, and private organization providing public services. It was passed in 2011. The act promotes transparency and accountability in governance by giving Nigeria the right to request and receive information from public offices or institutions. So as it is, I'm very sure some of you don't even know that they have the right to walk into any government offices and ask them to, to give them details of how they spent the budget that was allocated to that agency. You have that right. Why? Because it is being backed up by the constitution. Any of the citizens. Now, this is the way to go about it. By the time you go there, according to the law, you are to give them, at least within 7 days, they are to provide the record for you. By the time you get there, then we know that yes, one or two person goes there, three person go there. They discover that a lot of people are coming to ask for how the money most people have been handing. And along the line, the young man was praised for having that courage to do that. So the youth must wake up. The youth must build their mind. They must go into research and begin to compete with other people out there. I have some friends that are outside the country. By the time I engage, them in conversation, they'll begin to tell me that Nigeria youth have a long way to go. But this can only happen for us to come, to our senses, for us to occupy the position that is meant for us, for us to be in a position of leadership. You must know what it takes. You must acquire knowledge. You must build your capacity, and this can be done by attending seminar. During the last election, I was told that an Okada man, got elected. Why do you think that was possible? Probably they might have checked through his character. They might have checked through his they were like, yeah, this person is somebody that can be trusted. Now the question I'm going to throw to the youth of Nigeria tonight is, can you be trusted with any position? Can you be trusted? You can just make your research and ask one or two youth in Nigeria. What will come out of them will shock you. Somebody will just be like, the moment I get there, I'll just steal or try to move what will be enough for me and my family. What will be enough for me and my, relatives. Networking, also sharing of ideas. This can also help the youth to grow. Corruption can take a nation 10 times backward. The reason why you and I find ourselves where we are tonight is as a result of what our past leader have done. We can't continue to go on like this. We can't continue to sit on the fence and be throwing uh, blames to those in authority without you and I doing anything. Thank you, Ma. I think with this, I would like to leave the floor open for anybody to have any question or if you need any clarity. And I would like to show my appreciation for giving me the speak out today and to share my thought with you. And I would like to also thank Mr. Jonathan, the first speaker, who have said it a lot. So the topic of my presentation today, or of our presentation today, is combating corruption through youth accountability. This simply means empowering a generation of integrity and action. Meaning, when we empower a generation, or when we build capacity of generation who might be the leaders of tomorrow, it will integrity and take positive action toward the development of our societies or communities. And just like Mr. Jonathan had defined what is corruption, I'm going to say something a little with regard to that distinct corruption. And just like everybody knows, corruption is something, when someone mentions something about corruption, it calls attention of many peoples. What is that? What is this corruption? And many people define it according to their own thoughts. But uh, from my own ends, corruption simply means abuse of entrusted power for private gain, and it exists in public and private sectors. Then corruption itself, it damages trust, weakens institutions, and hinder development. Meaning, in every sector, whether it is private or public sector, there must be some little amount of corruption by our leaders or by the people who run that private or public sectors. And corruption, when it's setting in any organization, whether it is private or public, it damages trust between uh, the leaders or rulers and to those who are led by the rulers or the the management, and it weakens the institution at all. It hinders development. Wherever corruption is, it's like hinders development of that organization or that community or the country at large. And then, just like you said, that youth are the backbone of every country or any nation. Yes, of course. And why focus on youth all the time? Just like we Africans, if you take the population of Africa, over 60% of African population is under 25 years of age, which is in the next few years coming, all the offices, all the sectors should be handed over by the youth for proper service deliberation. And youth are energetic, innovative, and digitally savvy. They have the ability to make good judgment and decision in every organization when they're empowered and encouraged. And youth are the victims and the potential agent of change. They can make change wherever they are empowered or wherever they are invited to contribute with their own quota. Just like we know that if you look at the development or developed countries, most of their leaders they are not too old, just like the leaders that we have here in Nigeria. Uh, to say it, what? Hello, I don't know if you can hear me.
We can hear you. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, go on, sir. Okay, okay. So just like I said, if we look at the other the developing countries or the developed countries, their leaders, their young ages or their age is not advanced like our leaders here in Nigeria, and they are always making impactful change in their and youth lead accountability. Just like we said, what is it? Youth lead accountability simply means initiatives and action led by the young people in order to monitor public services and demand transparency and to and promoting like civic education using technology to track the, the duties of youth when they are empowered in every organization or any sector. Then the strategy for youth leads accountability. I think the strategy to involve you in the like ruling or managing organization other uh, sectors is like youth can be able to do it like how should I say it to make it like if you empowered they can change the status quo and demand transparency in any organization. And for youth leads accountability is they are going to promote what the civic education campaign among people, raising awareness among face groups and community, and also use of digital tools like social media, mobile apps, and like often data platforms, and like making community to be engaged in finding out their problems and make possible solutions to that community. And the youth has the ability to drama and like school clubs, and they can also uh, speak where it's needed, just like to improve the how should I say it, the productivity of the leading organized body or any other sector that needs to be lead successfully. So then um, the expected outcomes when youth are empowered in any private or public sector is to increase like awareness among the community members or the organizational members, and the young people understand what is corruption and it is dangerous in order to prevent it and take positive action. Then like greater transparency and civic pressure, and youth can also enhance youth participation in governance, and government and private institutions feel pressure to act more transparently. Every activity should be supervised and by the youth lead group for transparency and accessibility. And then, like, to take part in budgeting tracking and hold meetings and oversight. Then creation of sustainability movement and youth lead group became watchdogs in their communities in order to reduce the corruption cases. And then what to do to calls to action is join All Start Anti-Corruption Youth Club, speak up and don't normalize corruption. Hold leaders accountable peacefully and lawfully. Use your voice, your vote, and digital power. Then, in conclusion, I may say that the fight against corruption starts with us, with everybody, with you, with me, with anyone. And to me, the youth are not the leaders of tomorrow only, but we are the accountable champions of today in order to make change and to promote accountability in the community or in the private or public sectors. And this is the end. Thank you so much for listening.
Question to one of the speakers. In fact, both of you, if you want to tell us what we can do in moving forward. I'll start with Mr. Jonathan. In moving forward as a nation and seeing all the whole challenges going on in our economy, in our country today, what do you think could be the best solution in terms of choosing the right leadership? I know nobody is perfect in terms of leadership, but what do you propose? What do you think you can tell the youth? What do you think you can tell the youth to do in terms of choosing the right leader, the right not just for our nation, but in terms of choosing leadership in authorities that could drive change and great impact in our society. What do you think, Mr. Jonathan? If you have any, what's your opinion on this? Thank you.
Yes, thank you for the question, ma'am. Number one, the youth should stop complaining.
Sorry, Mr. Jonathan, can you start over? We can't hear you at the point.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. Go ahead, sir. Thank you.
Oh, okay, now what I said earlier is that the youth should stop complaining and begin to take action because sit without taking the necessary action, you don't have the program card and you are talking about the policy of those in power. The voter card is your voice. You don't belong to any political party now and you are somewhere complaining. Belonging to a political party cannot be a chance to vow for a political office. So you must have a voter's card. Through your voter's card, your voice will be heard. Don't a political party and vie for a position, a political position. If not, corruption will continue. And let's learn to say no to bribery, Because if you check, it's always bribing and what and corruption. So by the time we begin to turn them down, you discover that they will begin to know that yes, the youth have come to realization that it's time for them to take over. But by the time they give you one or two naira and you accept it, it's simply that your conscience has been brought over. What you are supposed to fight for or fight against, you keep quiet. Why? Because your mouth has been sealed with that little coin. So, in all and all, what I would say is that the youth should get themselves involved in politics. How can they go about that? Get the voters card, align themselves with a registered political party, identify themselves as a card carrier of a political party, vie for political offices, and let us stop complaining. Let us stop complaining. But all this can be happened when we know our right, when we build ourselves. Because an empty brain cannot lead a nation. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you so much. That's awesome. Mr. Bakar, can you give us your own opinion on this question? Thank you. Hello, Mr. Bakar. Are you there? Okay, I think we lost him. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining this wonderful program tonight. Well spoken speakers. I really enjoyed the program. I really enjoyed all that you have said tonight, and this is really awesome. This is wonderful. So, to for us to wrap up this impactful, powerful, and inspiring session, on behalf of the Century Vibe Global International Foundation and the entire DGIF team, I want to sincerely thank everyone for joining us tonight for this impactful edition of DGIF Interactive Forum Volume 3. Uh, the team combating corruption, which all the speakers have said so well. To our phenomenal speaker, Bakar and Mr. Yakubu, thank you for your bold insights, authentic stories, and practical strategies. You have also reminded us of how youth can be accountable, how they can, know their rights, because they are the leaders of tomorrow, and we are also accountable drivers of today. You have also helped us to see the challenges that faces corruption today. It's not just waiting for the change. The change is us. We have to become the change itself, and uh, holding the system accountable. Yeah, this is very very key, and accountable in terms of integrity, creativity, and courage. And to every participant that have joined us, I know it's not easy joining a meeting at this time. Thank you so much for holding on to the session. Thank you for the questions and all that has been presented. We are a generation of builders and watchdogs and visionary. So as we close this forum tonight, let us carry this energy way forward and starting more conversation in our communities, taking action, be responsible at all times. Let's remember that accountability starts with us and the future is truly in our hands. Please don't forget to follow our social media handles on Facebook, on Instagram, and LinkedIn. Let's keep defining our world, redefining our world, through action and impact. So good night, everyone. Thank you so much, and see you at DGI for volume 4. Yeah, thank you. Good night. Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Good night. Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you. Yeah. Good night.
Thank
Bye.
you, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining.